Welcome again to my tens and tens of friends. It is me, Teacher TJ, and today I will be reading you a Reddit post. But before I get into that, let me get into what I am sporting today. Today I just have on a black crop top and it's jean and I love it. And I will never wear this in the classroom, but I am going to wear this today for you on the YouTube. This Reddit post is over a year old, and when I saw the title, it totally intrigued me as a daycare provider with parents that I know have lots of questions. This Reddit post is from user Transboy13, and it is titled, I am a daycare teacher. Ask me anything. I have not read this Reddit post. So before I read the questions or the replies from the OP, I will read my responses. So let's get into it. How honest are you with parents about how difficult a child is? I'm honest. I have a pretty spirited 19-month-old who the teachers genuinely seem to adore, but I also worry sometimes that she's worse behaved than the other kids on her class, where they're individuals. Some might say you're worse behaved than the individuals that you work with. So, I mean, I would say don't put other children's expectations on her just because she's not sitting down with her arms folded and she's all quiet and prim and proper does not mean that she's not a good child because she is knocking down blocks over there while we're trying to read. She doesn't need direction, expectations, but that doesn't make her less well behaved. She is usually at the front or end of the walking line. She's seeing stuff, she's exploring, having her hand held, and has a teacher assigned to watch her for biting. Yikes. Well, maybe the other kids aren't biting. Her teachers say that she is developing normally and haven't raised any concerns besides the approximately once weekly report that she bit or scratched another kid. Okay, so you play too much because you know exactly who your child is. She's a little violent. So, with that, I would say be extra careful with discipline and how she acts with siblings if she has any, or cousins, or whomever she's playing with. Like, make sure she's being gentle. Talk to her, read stories about it, watch Sesame Street videos about it, and somebody's gonna get her. Somebody's gonna get her, and it's not that we want the other kids to. It just happens. We cannot see all at all times, and it's only a matter of time before the other children pick up that behavior and they start to and act on the same behavior. So when she gets bit back, it's time for a real conversation. If I was the teacher in that classroom, see, remember when your friend was not biting? So you know, I'm sorry, I have a teacher voice, and I use it because it makes me happy and it makes me laugh, and it keeps the lightness in the room, the air in the room. It keeps all the rest of the kids relaxed because that's traumatic. When another kid bites a kid, that's a traumatic situation that it might cause a little stress on the other kids. So I have a teacher voice that kind of like brings the to the room. So if when she finally gets bit, because it's bound to happen, I was like, oh, that hurts, right? Oh, remember when you bit so and so? And probably before I can even, this is how my kids are, before I can even say, and so and so, another friend is going to come to the front and be like, yeah, and then you bit me and you bit her. And that child has to think about it. So it's definitely a learning experience for that child to understand nobody likes being bitten. It hurts. It hurts a lot. And I would have to time out. You sit over here and watch us have this fun because apparently you don't want to come have fun with us. But I would like to know what she has to say. I don't want to talk too much. She got a second question. Let's pause this. Second question. If there's anything we can be doing as parents to reinforce being gentle, no biting, etc., thank you so much for being the parent that I love. How can you help? Because I'm here for 8 hours and my job is to send them all home the way that they came. And Veronica did not come with a bite. And I call her Veronica because she is her. Okay. Her parents love her. She's an IVF baby. No, she is like sometimes I know y'all have come across stories where you be like, oh, You went through all that for that baby. That baby is that parent's world. So I'm trying to keep these kids safe, and I can't do so if she's over here biting. So to say that you want to work with me, I'm gonna work with you. And I offered some of those things, and I'm gonna keep reading. No biting, etc. Please share. We got some books, but to be honest, I think they give more ideas on how to be mean. We don't kick the dog. She was never rough when I pet. I actually have that series. I would say when you read, don't read those books. I don't read those books unless I need them because I'm with you on that. I don't like to say, and I said it, but I don't like to say don't cut hair. But that's like a teacher's nightmare. It's like we want you all to learn. We want our kids to learn how to use the scissors. They are tricky. They are difficult. That's a kudos to you. One less thing the kindergarten teacher has to worry about. But the stuff you can cut, and it happened. That's a heartbreak. I was heartbroken. It wasn't a lot of hair. A kid cut a kid hair, and yeah, I agree. I don't like to say like don't do X, Y, and Z because it might give them an idea. But I was there, but we can't see all at all times. Level up was not leveling up at that moment. Share that. Okay, so Trans Boy 13, which is the OP, says honestly, with that age, that's not uncommon. Facts. Usually, there's 2 kids out of every 10 that are biting more often. I am so blessed right now. I have no biters. Ah, I have no biters. Thank God. There's no rhyme or reason to it either. It's a bunch of things that can be a factor. The sensation, angry, learned behavior. Of course, they're frustrated. It's really just random. And it really is developmentally appropriate for a 19-month-old to bite. Once a week is not that bad, and that's true. Because you can get some who bite 3 times a day, and they be quick. And then you have to like coach the other kids, like, come on now, you see them going towards you with their mouth open, they're gonna bite you. Move, get out the way, don't let them bite you. Shout out to all the kids who's been bitten. Yeah. So, and she will grow out of it, and that's true too. Honestly, the difficult kids are not the biters or the fighters. It's the no's. It's not listening, etc. No, it's not difficult for me. I guess it's to each his own because biting is difficult to me because it's like I feel your pain. I'm a Cancer. I'm an empath. I feel your pain. It got you good too. Yeah. And what I do is, of course, they need to apologize. Sometimes they might want to hug them, and sometimes the kid might be like, I don't trust you, going with that hug. But I also have them give them ice, and the ice always makes the kids feel better. I'll have the kid that big give the other kid ice because you need to take care of them. Hopefully, I'm not so setting them up to be. Man, what was that one movie where I think she took the guy. I don't know if I could say that on here, but she napped him, and she broke his ankles, and then she held him hostage. And I said, I don't watch many movies, but my mom had me watch that one.
One fan. There is nothing to worry about. You're gonna be just fine. I'll take good care of you.
Where?
We're just outside Silver Creek.
How long?
And then she started taking care of him. Girl, um, dang, we 12 minutes in. Okay. I can do fighters. Wait. The difficult kids are not the biters or the fighters. Can be, because some kids are aggressive for no reason, except they seek power at 3. It's the no's. It's not listening, etc. And a trick with the not listeners is to not listen to them. And then you got to remind them. Remember that time I was like talking to you and you weren't listening to me yet? So I'm not listening. I'm petty. And it's the looking you in the face while doing something they know they aren't supposed to that can make or break my mood. You won't even get to make or break my mood. I meditated this morning. Oh, you're not listening? Oh, what they say? Looking you in the face while doing something. I'm gonna look you right back in the face. And before I can even say go sit, my other students might be like, go sit. Just go on over there. Sit, go think about what you're doing right now. You're tripping. Cat the Fluff says, okay, now what if they are biting a few times a week? My 2-year-old seems to get triggered when others are violating his bubble. He doesn't bite at all at home, but who is at home though? I'm sorry, it just sounds like that person did not take enough accountability. It's like they in his bubble and he had to bite. Go find another teacher. But I get it. I do get coaching the kids with you get too close, you know he's gonna bite you. Don't go over there with him. Let him play along. He really wants to play along. He's very upset and he wants to play along and he's angry. So Please leave them be. Just leave them be. And a lot of times they don't do what they do at home at school and vice versa. The OP replies and says, some kids just bite a lot. Usually it's just a phase and they grow out of it. And teething can be another one. It's hard at that age because they're not yet communicating. But once they figure out how to tell that friend they are too close, then it generally becomes less of a problem. And also, once that friend learns to move away from them, they say it too close. What I like to do is that when I hear something like that, if a friend is saying, you're too close, I'll say, I hear someone so asking for space. I usually don't hear that kid still saying you're too close. We are working on using stop or even just yelling instead of biting LOL. Thank you for the response. Yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure teach them to use his words or their words, but yelling can be a lot. Like imagine 12 kids yelling all day. You know how loud kids get. I'm gonna find another question. I'm gonna read Hedgehog Farts. It says, I've taught my twos class the phrase, I need space. I tell my kids that too. But how he says, I just need a little space. I just need a little room. Please just give me a little space, please. Just back up a bit. And they use it quite a bit. Of course, the other kids also need to be taught to respect when a friend says that. Yep. And I'll enforce it if I hear them saying, I just need a little space. I'll say, I hear your friend asking for space. And they'll usually give them. Sometimes the replies might be like, kids funny, but more than likely, even if they have some funny reply, they'll still give them their space. Of course, the other kids need to be taught to respect when a friend says that, but it really helps me help the child what they can say, what they need. Yeah, it does help the kids to learn to say what they need. I'll teach mine that thanks. He knows stop, please. And this is Cat the Fluff and has used it with us in occasions, but I'm not sure if it's too general. O chuckles, replies, I'm not OP, but I'm a former preschool teacher and currently completing my master's in early childhood special education. My perspective on being honest with parents is that we are honest with y'all, but we also want to be sensitive to a number of things, including one, this is your baby, obviously, and like I said, some not even just as your baby. Sometimes y'all be having some real stories, like some real stories come with these kids. And for sure, this is your baby, your most prized possession. I know how I am about man, so why would I expect y'all to be any other way? We have to retain a developmentally appropriate perspective. As OP explained below, 3, things work smoothest when parents and teachers are able to be a cohesive team. So we're going to do our best to communicate with you in a way which encourages good faith. It makes sense. For example, if I've already communicated a behavior concern to a parent, I'm not necessarily going to double down and overload them with details of every single misbehavior every single day. Facts. Perfect. I like how she said that. I told you about your kid. I already told you that your child is doing XYZ. Now, as far as like biting, I have to tell you every time they bite because the incident reports come with that and so forth. But if I tell you your child is yelling every day or your child's not coming to carpet every day or something of that sort, well, look at your pictures. Is your child in the story time? Do I really need to tell you that? But every time, am I going to be like, your child? No, because you don't want to hear that. I'm not necessarily because that can get very discouraging very quickly and can even damage the relationship. And it will. Like if I had to write reports due to biting, of course I'll notify you. But I'm not also going to tack on that little Susie also screamed through circle time and she also knocked down a friend's block tower and also she did that and she did this and she did that. Exactly. Now sometimes it'll get to a point where we have to. These lights getting hot. Block tower. Also, she did this and she did that because that'll send the message that I don't F with your kid. And that's not useful for problem solving. If things remain largely the same from one day to the next, I'll just say the day was pretty typical, something like that. Yeah, you know what that means. What I will communicate in more details if I was able to gain more insight into the behavior that the parents may find helpful if the behavior was drastically worse today. Or if the behavior was drastically better today. Yeah. Back to this. Okay. Now, mid-month Emerald asks, what percentage of the parents seem to raise their kids in a way you would raise your own? Not in my daycare. I literally prayed for parents like the ones I have. So they do really well raising their children. In the past, I have had to let parents go because they didn't raise their kids the way the way that I would raise them. Not in like I'm better than y'all, but it's a team and I will work with the teachers. I know when the teacher's on some bull, but I will work with the teachers. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So if that number is low, why? Thanks for doing this, they also said. OP said, I would say that is situational facts, but if I had to guess, I would say 35%. Some parents are too strict, especially on their young toddlers. Right.
That is a toddler. Your baby's supposed to like Skittles, you ignorant. As soon as your baby touches the Skittles, you what the tell your mom.
Williams, they supposed to like candy. Some let too much go. I'll be like, Okay. Others just don't seem to care about their child at all. Some kids are developmentally appropriate at young ages, others give me pause. I know if you're supposed to say that. But generally, the amount of kids that I have that are afraid to cry scares me. Afraid to cry. Fits are normal. Crying when you get hurt is normal at these ages. Facts. But okay. Mid month Emerald says, thanks for answering. 35% doesn't sound crazy to me, just based on my experience trying to find other mom friends who are kind of close to my style. There's so much variety in parenting. It breaks my heart to hear some little kids are afraid to cry. I'm glad that they get you for some of their day. Mousehold Dash Cat says, as a daycare teacher, I gotta turn my head because that light is burning up my forehead. But as a daycare teacher, what would you say are the red and green flags when looking for a center? Red flags, are they polite? What are the kids doing? You know what's You would swear I paid my kids to give me a hug when we get visitors, but the fact of the matter is they do hug me all day. So I would think that you should see like some type of affection from the kids, whether it's the way that they're calling the teacher's name and how does the teacher engage that student, even if hopefully they're not too busy and not really considering that you should be watching everything, the cleanliness. Listen to the kids because the kids be talking. Green flags, like I said, if they're nice, how are the kids interacting with each other and the teacher? Also, we have quality rating systems who rate daycares to have at least the bare minimum. It's child proof. And so the OP replies and says, red flags, kid kids freely roaming without gates. That's a good one, but wow. Baby locks, kids with obviously full diapers, anything abnormally dirty. If you walk in and can smell a bleach smell, if you get a weird mean vibe, now you might smell bleach in the bathroom because my boys is potty training and I don't have sons, so shout out to y'all. Vibe from teachers generally go with your gut, and if a whole group of kids older than one is majority crime, specifically over age 1 year, because before then many kids will cry when other babies cry. It's true too. Yeah. One kid cry, they all start crying. That's what I have to remind them sometimes too. You're making your friends sad. Clearly organized toys, but some like mess. Everything has a place, but a couple of bins may be dumped out. Free play built into a schedule. Set routines, label cots, lots of kids art on the wall, size appropriate furniture, and when a teacher can personally tell you how your child is doing that day. Yep. Good Mom Living says, what are some tips for encouraging healthy eating habits for my 3 year old and how can I handle a picky eater? I would say explain to them the importance of nutrition and fruit and water and books. You can use books, you can talk to them about it, you can visit places or the market. What else? Whole Foods is kind of cute because they have those little bitty buggies that they can push around and you can, make buying carrots and celery a whole big thing. So interacting is good. How to handle a picky eater, have them cook with you. And when you have them cook with you, they're most susceptible to eat it. And, make it a big deal. We're making pizza. It's going to be so yummy. Smell the sauce. Oh, look at all of these bright colors, like all that type stuff, and keep giving them the vegetables over and over again. Eventually, they'll try it, and don't force them to eat it, and don't force them to complete their whole plate. And you can even start with them just smelling the food instead of having them taste it. If they're like really like, I'm not going to eat that, just, have them smell it. Because sometimes, like one of my friends, he will not eat a mango. And I'm like, dude, you do not understand how good mangoes are. And we try to tell him, and all the rest of the kids eat it. He like, mm-mm. But they look like peaches, and I can understand how you don't like peaches because peaches have this distinct taste to them that's like for a kid. The kids in my daycare have never smashed and I mean ate all of the peaches, and there were until there were none left. Not the peaches. That's probably the only fruit, but they will eat some. But mangoes are tasty. So yeah, have them try it, talk about it. You could get Level Up Stars lesson plans, and they have different activities on different foods that your child can try, and that's a Level Up Stars on the Gumroad. You can click the link, it's probably down in the comments or the description box, and get your Level Up Stars lesson plan for mini activities. Or keep following my channel for more tips on getting your child to eat different foods and or recipes and lots of more information. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Shout out to Jessie Woo. That is a bit tricky, OP says. Some kids are picky to be picky. Others have sensory issues around food. That's true. Generally, if your child sees you enjoying something, they are more likely to want it. Also, that's true. A good idea is to explain how a food may feel or relate to a liked food, like how a cherry tomato feels, somewhat like a blueberry. Also, reintroduce foods. Yep. It is thought that children's taste buds change every few weeks. Wow. So, a good rule of thumb is to try one new food every week. Retry any disliked food in 6 weeks and be a bit tricky. Don't remind them that they have not had a particular food before and didn't like it. Wow, thanks for Good Mom Living says, wow, thanks so much, very helpful, and thank you for all you do for the kids as a daycare teacher. Yeah, shout out to you. Peach Pities says, my 2.5-year-old is going to preschool for the first time ever, and I'm so scared she will be crying and nobody will comfort her. Aw. OP says she will definitely be comforted in a good center, is how I'll say that, right? But don't be surprised if for the first couple of days they say there were a lot of tears because that is normal during the adjustment. And I would say after 2 weeks, they should definitely stop crying by 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, if she's still more than normal, that's not necessarily the best sign. That's true. I will sometimes say that once a kid has been around a while, some teachers can get a bit snippy about tears. It's a fine line. Yikes. I would say too that even after the 2 weeks, see how she act when you drop off. As she like screaming and clawing and trying not don't want to go, because sometimes it could take longer if she's never been and it's unfamiliar. But generally kids like school, it's everything they want to do: play, learn, friends, food, fun. So generally 2 weeks but it can take, I guess, a month. I haven't seen a month. Maybe I have once, but I think one of my kids that graduated when she first came. But sometimes too, you have to take into account the center that they came from and how they feel about being at centers because of their last experience. And you can call and check on your child, and they should also be updating you about their day with pictures and stuff like that. You can get a vibe of, how they're doing throughout the day. It's normal to be worried, but any good teacher is going to be. Even if it is longer than 2 weeks and it's a lot of crying, a lot of tears, if you hug a kid and be like, oh, I know it's so sad, I want my mom too. Like, I really want her to. I get it. I understand. Trust me. It's really hard, but mom will never leave you. She'll be back. I promise. But while she's here, maybe we could just have some fun and do some things. We have blogs, and if teachers are like going that extra mile, then after a while, and they see day after day, I'm in good hands. They'll be all right, hopefully. But one thing that I would like to add is what a parent cannot do is be like, oh, we don't have to go to school today. Oh, we don't have to go to school tomorrow. Oh, because guess what they learned? That if I cry, I don't have to go to school. So yeah, once you're finally over and they're like, oh no, you're gonna go to school. They quit playing. You train me to cry when I don't want to go to school, and I get to stay at home. You done And also, I would say if you're really concerned about them crying for a very long period of time, you still dropping off, and it's been weeks, do a pop up visit because that's a good reason. Your child won't stop crying at drop off. That's yeah, that's suspicious.
So I don't know, Holmes. You making me suspicious, eh? It's making me think a lot.
Just, why are you like this? 17 says, how the heck do you get a 20-month-old to sleep in a room full of other babies? That's that. Parents always be amazed if they come at that time. Like, what the? I'm telling you what we don't do.
A preschool in Texas is under fire after parents say their children were given patches called sleepy stickers to help the kids rest for nap time.
Now, if there's anyone else that's not familiar, give us a little background on the sleepy stickers.
Okay, so the kids were given sleepy stickers at this preschool that was also inside of a school district in an elementary building, and they were being given sleepy stickers to take naps. And it just so happened that that little girl that we saw in the clip, she just happened to sneak hers out, and her mother saw it, and that's how it kind of all unraveled. And the mom just started doing research and talking to other parents, and oh yeah, we all get sleepy stickers.
Us here at my daycare would never do that. What we do though is it's a process. First of all, your day should have in it where they are running, they are jumping, they are screaming, they are getting that energy out so that they can be tired for a nap. Also, nap is best if they are having a full day, then they're more likely to be tired. Also, a full belly, they are more likely to be tired. So I would say make sure that they are exerting that energy and also eating well. And also, you need to set a mood. Lights down, maybe some Christmas lights, the white lights, and that creates a nice ambiance if needed, or you could just make it all dark or a night light if needed. Music. The music that's playing should be soft, could be jazz, could be classical, but it should be at a tone that is relaxing for them to get some rest. Also, you might want to try patting their backs or rocking them. I diffuse lavender and diffusers synchronized. Watch right at 12:30, 12:45-ish. Put it in the air. Get that diffuser lavender circulating. For sure, the diffuser lavender. Put that lavender in there, and with all of those things combined, oh,
You ever go night night? You ever go night night? Everybody go night.
they're going to sleep. Yeah, they're going to sleep. At my daycare, they don't want to get up.
And I listen.
Okay. But transition to laying your child down and patting them to sleep. Stop. Just stop. And you could do stuff like read to them before, like set a routine so they know what's coming next. Gently rub their forehead and their hair. That move always relaxes them. It might be tough for you to do at first, but it will make your teacher's job easier. Good one. Why are you like this? Say they don't do any of that at daycare. Apparently, she goes down very easy for them. It is at home that it's different. I'm aware that the way we put her to sleep is going to have to change shortly, but I can guarantee you that if I tried that today, she would never lay down. Could you please explain the lay down part in detail? And I think a reason that they probably lay down too at daycare is like they're all doing it. It's like they, make it something special for them. Babies cannot have teddy bears, but in our home daycare, and I think it's different for the centers, I don't think they can have anything when they're laying down. But once they have their special blanket from home, a pillow, if they're not too young, because too young they can't have a pillow. But once they have their blanket, their pillow, their cot, and they see everyone else doing it, that's another reason they want to take a nap too. Another thing you can do is fake sleep. Babies, when they're newborn, if they wake up out of a nap and look at you, close your eyes, go to sleep. You don't have to lay down, but go to sleep. You have to fake sleep them. Otherwise, they will probably look at you and say, "Oh, we up," and then want to play around. But if you like, oh, no, we're still asleep, you just close your eyes. If you're laying next to them, close your eyes. As soon as they look at you, close your eyes. And you got to sneak away from them too. Sorry, it's their world and they know it, so you got to trick them. You just got to trick them. No Gazelle 2102 says, first of all, thank you for what you do. You get attached to your kids. Absolutely. My son goes to a home daycare and I'm so attached to his provider, I cry thinking about leaving her next year. Oh, yeah. Definitely been there. Also, what do you like receiving as gifts? I've always did gift cards as for every occasion, but I want to get something more personal. And the OP says we absolutely get attached to both kids and parents. I cry during move ups because I know I won't get to see those kids much more anymore. Also, we love and appreciate anything, but my honest favorite is just fruit and veggie trays. We keep them in the fridge in the break room, perfect for a quick pick me up at the break time or if I'm stopping in for any reason. But also appreciated our little notes and cards. And if your child is particularly fond or close to a teacher and you get photos taken, we would love a little keepsake as many of us can't be on devices or can only take phones with the center tab pictures with the center tablets. Good one. Pirate Meow Kitty says, hijacking this post. I'm very attached to them all, and I'm genuinely happy to see them in the mornings. I'm on leave for 2 weeks, but dropping my kids off at work and I pop into my class to see and hug them. And it's nice that the parents are also happy to see me again too. Um, Saru 3020 says, what things do parents do that annoy teachers? Bring your kids to school with food. After I done said it so many times, bring your kids to school with anything that I told you not to. That's annoying. What else annoying? Not being paid is annoying. Y'all got to stop that. That's some kind of annoying. I don't even know, like, that's kind of like past, like way past annoying. Like, can you imagine going to work and not being paid? And then you know how good I am in my job. And then if I say something, it's like, that's strict around here. What? What can we do to make things easier for teachers? Just work with us when we asking for help. My child is in the Young Twos class. Thank you. Things that annoy us, there are a few, honestly. Some that come to mind are we ask why your child runs out of an item like diapers. Yeah, that is annoying when I'm like, your child is out of diapers and you don't bring none for like 2 weeks. Like, bro, where you think them diapers coming from? You think I'm gonna take them from the other kids, or you think I need to go to the store and get them? That is annoying. I forgot that one. That was a good one. Or saying stuff like, y'all running out of diapers faster than at home. Hun, I have your child during waking hours, okay? 5 in the morning to the evening. Okay, your child go home, eat and go to sleep. So yes, you're gonna run out faster. That's funny. I've never heard that before though. Shout out to my parents. Want your child to continue something after it is developmentally appropriate, such as continuing bottles every 3 hours past age 1. Yeah, they dropping off with that binky. I'd be like, okay, yeah, I got it. Thanks. In the drawer. What is you doing? We're not doing that around here. Your kid don't even think about that binky. If they need it, then we'll give it to them. But if they, no. Specifically, if we are having to force the child to continue. Same with wanting your child to take more naps than their peers and a big one. Please, if your child is walking or getting close, provide a good walking shoe with a real sole, not a slipper. I don't care about walking shoes. They learn how to walk. Them walking shoes, I don't, that's not a big one for me. But another annoyance of mine is sending, if we potty training, we working together as a team and we're potty training and I'm like, your child is not potty training, you start sending them to school not doing it. Where they finna sit at? Cause I don't have plastic on my couches. Where are they like, and then your child will pee, have an accident and won't tell us. Like, okay, so where did you pee at? I don't know. That's how ringworm gets spread. At least in my mind, that's how. Also, the OP says to make things easier, being understanding and inform teachers of anything happening that may affect their day. If your child slept badly, if extra family is over in town, if an injury like a bumper, I want to know about injuries. I don't really need to know about the extra family and stuff. We'll figure it out. Yeah. My children are old enough to tell me, what's going on. If it's something going on that's bothering them or making them more excited or something. The parent be like, they got an attitude today. They probably gonna have a bad day. They probably not. Well, we ain't claiming that. If an injury like a bump or a scratch occurred at home, and please, yeah, don't, hey, well, they mentioned the potty training, but another one, medication, another annoyance. If your child is sick and you medicate them and they send them to school and then now everybody else gets sick because at the end of the day they done threw up, yeah, that's kind of annoying because This kid done gave me 80 hugs. Like, no, I'm finna be sick. Now we all finna be sick. Like, what? No, that's kind of annoying. And please don't try to push something like potty training if your child is not ready. Facts. Please stop. They fully potty trained at home. Well, good for you. Talk to them. I don't know, but they're not here. I'm not trying to keep your child in pull-ups. That's what fun is that for me? I don't. No, that's not what I want for me. But how do you not get sick all the time? As me, the OP says I do. I try vitamin C and everything, but some things are just unavoidable. For me, I do not get sick. Not like that. And vitamin C works well for me. I will drink that vitamin C so quick and have me a glass of tea with honey and lemon in it if I think I feel a tingle in my throat because I can't call off. So I try real hard not to get sick. And for the most part, I don't. Yeah. How do you manage your day? When do you even get a time to quick break with all these little ones near you? Really appreciate the work you do. So how do I manage my day? Oh, my day start early. Probably 4 o'clock. I should be in the shower. If not, I get in there by 5. Depends on what time my first kid is arriving. For sure, downstairs by 6. After a nice hot or cold shower, depending on how I feel or what I need. And then I'm downstairs by 6 and getting my supplies together for the day. If the kid wants a nap or a snack or a quiet activity or something, I'm early in the day. Most of the time, they just want to go back to sleep. Don't blame them. I make my coffee. I drink my coffee. I meditate. I might meditate. Meditation and working out is depends. It's either on my break or which is usually when I get my break and my co-teacher will watch the kids. What else? I also have to follow well, I don't have to, but I follow the schedule of their daily events and activities. I make sure everything's set up for them. Put out fires. I could go on and on, but basically follow the schedule to keep it real plain. Follow the schedule and keep everyone clean and safe and fed. And then repeat. My center has a designated nap time. I also get a 45-minute lunch break, and occasionally we are able to step away if we get overwhelmed. But sometimes the car ride home does involve tears. True. I think I'm done because my head is starting to hurt. This ring light is starting to affect me. Thank you so much for joining in to my 10 to 10 of friends. If you are not a 10, subscribe. If you like this video because you watched all of it, like and comment down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, friends. What person does that? Hey, I'm from a school where my grandma would be like, and you bet not go outside. You sit out there and blow like that if you want to. Let me tell you who won't be out there. I'll be looking like, unless it's family, and then that's embarrassing and annoying. But then again, they might have been taking too long to come out. You know how it be. And they finna run back in because they forgot something with all your blowing. You just made them anxious. Sorry, my ADHD kicking in. Y'all, I had to set my setback up. I had messed around and had to shoot some content and messed around and messed up the thing.
Shout out to Funky Geneva.
But in this world, that light making my head hot, y'all. We're gonna get some studies later that be like the ring light. So don't record a lot, but don't record too much now. Keep them lights off of y'all. This can't be good. Should I put Snoop Dogg? Ooh, we put it in there in here. But